Orbweaver and Huntsman are a bonded pair of Utahraptors, having found each other as lost orphans and spending their time together in the vast lands of Riperia, growing to adulthood together. Having spent many moons through the dry season, they have entered the wet season. Life is more abundant. Water is easier to come by. However, storms are very common now. They've learned to coordinate hunts on smaller creatures together, finding it easiest to bother nests in hopes of the parents coming out, and launching their attack on the unsuspecting and angry parents. When they came out to defend their nests, they found this out through bothering these nests as adolescents out of pure curiosity. Then when the adults would come out, they would flee. Now they use it to their benefit. This became their way of hunting through the dry season when life was scarce. Now it has become their way of an easy meal. Making their way into the wet season, it is unknown if they will be able to bring down bigger prey. So for now, they have learned to bother nests in hopes of a parent or two being home, and getting agitated at them, and turning it into a hunt. This proved a good hunting tactic for the two, and they continue to use this method to feed themselves. Often found sharing food together, where most unrelated Utahraptors wouldn't, as usually in a Utahraptor dispersal, they are not close, and fights often happen, especially over food. Through their adolescence, into their subadult lives, the two have found themselves becoming more fond of one another. They had traveled for quite some time, fought small threats together, and even found more of their species. On multiple occasions, they even grouped with others of their species on their journey across Riperia. But they always stayed close to one another, refusing to leave one another's side, showing no interest in the others they accompanied. Though as they've grown closer, they have begun grooming one another and showing affections towards the other. They have even been seen sleeping close to one another. It's rare to see them apart. Wherever Orbweaver may go, it is expected that Huntsman isn't far behind her. Where there is one, the other is always near. And as they have grown and hit maturity, Huntsman began showing favoritism towards her, staring down other males they grouped with who got to close for his liking, but never escalating to hissing, and even began bringing her gifts. He inspects the flower, having to make sure it's good enough before grabbing one and bringing it to her. A water lily. She observes it, before accepting his gift, and thus a romance seemed to blossom between the two. As the moons pass, and the two continue to travel together, they are found with two more young of their species, a subadult male and a young adult female, having just come out for the day after another harsh storm. Huntsman is suspicious of the young male. He is strange to say the least, with less feathers than most of their species and a skinnier build, as well as acting very hyper, which he and Orbweaver are not, despite their young age. After escaping the storm and leaving Redwoods, they looked for a spot to rest. However, it would not come, unfortunately. There is a danger lurking. Hearing something, they look around. While the other two sensed the danger and ran, Orbweaver and Huntsman did not. As Orbweaver preened and gently nipped a flower to gift to Huntsman and show her affections, a danger was lurking behind them. The calls of the other two raptors falling on deaf ears, as the threat hasn't been seen by the other two until it was too late. Harsh jaws and jagged teeth snapped around Orbweaver's body as she yelped in pain. Kicking and struggling in the jaws, Orbweaver does her best to get out of the situation. But unfortunately, the Tyrannosaur's jaws are clasped tightly around her. Huntsman, unsure of what to do, at first fleeing, but realizing his pair wasn't near, turned dropping the flower he was once gifted, and let out a cry of horror. The one he favored was in the jaws of death. All he could do was run around in panic and distress as he watched Orbweavers struggle in the jaws of the Tyrannosaurus. Miraculously, somehow the giant lost its grip, letting Orbweaver fall from its clutches. A clean and precise kick to the face, right under the eye, has earned her freedom from its jaws, but not her life. In a desperate attempt, running on pure adrenaline and shock, keeping her body moving, she turned and fled as huntsmen ran back towards her. She ran and ran and ran, crying out in fear and pain as the shock began wearing off, with huntsmen following in pursuit. It is unknown if she will survive her wounds.